So I want to talk about the time, I don't think I've talked about this yet on my channel. Hopefully I haven't, but I want to talk about the time, twice now actually in my life, where I just didn't want anything to do with women. The first was when I was about 21, and I just, at the time, and in case you don't know my deep lore, I did not lose my virginity until I was 30 and or 31. It was like the month that I turned 31, so I forget exactly if it was 30 or 31. Um, but I also didn't lose. I also didn't have my first kiss until I was 28. But when I was 21, that was the first time that I sat down with myself and I just gave up on relationships, women, dating, all that kind of stuff. Um, so I have no stories to tell. I have no stories to tell. There's one story, and that was I saw a girl from high school working at a grocery store. Um, she was interested in hanging out with me, and I just dismissed it. Um, that's it. That's in 7 years. That's all I got. I had nothing else. I didn't try. I didn't go out of my way. No woman approached me, anything like that. And that was the first time in my life when I just did not give a shit about dealing with women in relationships. And that was 7 straight years of nothing. All I have is that 3 sentence little story to tell you. Um, and then something happened that brought me back into it when I was 28. And that something was a woman, being interested in me. And that's a whole story that I probably will never really go into too much detail on the channel. I'm sure I've mentioned it a bit on this channel here and there, but um, if I got into explicit detail, that would probably dox me more than anything, which, I don't really care per se about that because it's such a long ago thing. But point is, a woman brought me back into the fold. And on that topic, the notion that, oh, it takes, one blowjob to like get back into it. For the record, she didn't suck my dick. As I said, I was 28 at the time. I didn't lose my virginity until 30, and that was with a completely different woman. Um, but I agree with the notion that most men definitely fall into that category of their one blowjob away from dealing with women again. But I would say that at some point when you're old enough and you've just dealt with women enough, it's a cycle. It's a constant cycle of like, not even constant, because that was 7 years, and then basically for 4 years I dealt with women, and then between the ages of 31 and 32, I stopped dealing with women again, and I'm 33 now. And technically speaking, I technically have a Hinge dating profile. I don't do anything with it, except for the occasional like that I get from a woman. And by occasional, I mean maybe once a month. I'll get a like from a woman. And I never do anything with it, because the two that it's happened so far, both of them were either fat, ugly, or both. um, actually, both. Actually, yeah, both were fat and ugly. Um, and I'm a 5 out of 10, so I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but, I'm 5 out of 10. I'm very physically fit. And, I don't even want a girlfriend at this point. That's kind of the point of my current stage of my life. I'm at the stage again where I just don't want to deal with women. In fact, I have been like this for years, where I refuse to listen to female YouTubers about anything. Like, if a woman is talking in a video, I immediately check out that video. I don't want to hear women talk. I don't want to hear women talk. It could be about literally anything. It could be the most useful piece of information. Haha, fat chance that is actually a thing. Because when is a woman useful? But I don't want to hear women talk. I don't want to hear women talk. And I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to deal with them. And the few times that I hear men mention like their wives or their relationship in a video, usually it's usually not because the video is about that. They'll just mention that shit, and I always find it cringe as shit. I always find it amazing. Part of the point that I wanted to make in this video was that women are delusional, and men who are with women are delusional. And I think that is true. And the reason I say that is that in order to be with a woman, you have to be delusional, because you have to somehow accept that somehow she cares about you when she doesn't. She does not. And I don't want people to say, oh, you had a bad relationship or this, that. No, I did not have a bad relationship. Of all the relationships that I've seen and heard about, and even amongst my parents, in a sense, been a part of, right? Because I saw their relationship more closely than any other relationship ever, besides the own that I had. And every relationship with a woman is a deception. Every relationship with a woman is a delusion. And if that delusion no longer works on you, then you just don't really want to deal with women because they really don't offer much of anything. There's not, it's like, oh, they offer sex. Yeah, but, I said this recently, Hudson Black 3, his channel. Shout out to him. I commented on his channel because he was talking about pornography and stuff like that. And, quick aside here, because this is kind of off topic on this video per se, but quick aside, I agree with the notion that pornography is bad for you, but at the same time, pornography is way better than women. I was in a relationship where I had sex at least once a week. I ejaculated in her every time. She was infertile, so it was whatever. And I'm not trying to brag, but my point is that I never had as good of an orgasm with her as I did with my hand. Never did. Never have, never will. So say what you will about pornography, and I agree with you that pornography is terrible, it's a bad thing, don't do it. But realistically, man, keeping it 100, the best orgasms you're going to get are from porn. That's just it. It is what it is. No woman is going to match that. And how could she, I suppose, but, it's one less reason to be caught in that delusion of a woman, which, back to the video topic, I'm in that stage again in my life where I just don't want to deal with women. I don't like dealing with women. I barely acknowledge women's existence at church. And I'm not a religious man, I just go for the community, in case you didn't know that. But, I'll usually do my best to say, like, good morning to the husbands and then pretty much ignore the wives or something, because I just don't like them. I don't care. I don't like women. I don't like what they are. I don't like... I say who they are, but they're not really anything. But it's kind of a whole nother topic and probably going to get me in trouble on YouTube. So anyway, I'm in that phase of my life again. So I had 7 years of a stint where I just didn't deal with women, and now I'm in that stint again since basically the age of 31, 32, and I'm 33 now. So who knows, maybe it'll be another 7 years. I always made a joke with one of my friends that by the time we're 35, we'll just be gay. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not, but I've made that joke since we were like in our 20s. So or some shit like that, man. Anyway, my ultimate point, I guess, to leave you with something is that being with a woman is a delusion. To think that you have some kind of relationship, to think that you're building something, to think it's all a delusion. It's all a farce. You're not building anything. It could all be taken away. How could you build something that can just be gone like that? And you have not only nothing to show for it, but usually negative things to show for it, right? You hear all the time about men getting divorced, raped, and all this kind of stuff like that. But even if you weren't married or anything, like, all the investment that you had in that relationship, gone. Doesn't really amount to anything besides an experience, I guess, right? And there's value in that, sure. There's, I've always said that I don't regret my relationship. I think there was value in the experience of it, but that's it. That's the extent of it. There wasn't a value, maybe you could call the splitting hairs. There wasn't a value in the relationship. There was a value in the experience of having it. And what value was that? Well, it was the value of realizing that, you can hate fake cells like me all you want, but, I'm here to tell you, like, it ain't greener on the other side, bucko. It's all shit, man. It's all shit. Whatever you think you're going to get from a woman, you're not. Whatever you think you're going to get from a relationship, You're not. Whatever you think you're going to get from having intimacy and sex and all that, they're not necessarily the same thing, of course. You're not. In a moment, you might. In the moment, you might. In the present situation, you might. But 5 minutes later, it'll be gone. And where's the value in that? I don't know. All I do know is I don't like hearing women. That's what I know. Anyway, take care, fellas.